one thing about your project that you hate most?
Yeah, I think if really want to nitpick at something, yes, because they really don't have.
What about you?
No.
Okay, welcome to another episode of Real Talk, Real Reviews. Now, today, we are very excited because we invited two very special guests to join us for this session. Now, we have project specialist Colelyn as well as Ivan Xia. Now, let's let them introduce themselves. Okay, Colelyn.
Hi everyone, I'm Colelyn. I'm basically in this real estate industry for 16 years now. Hopefully can give you more insights about the projects today.
I'm Ivan Xia. I'm from Next, of course, with Colin, yes, in the industry for about 15, 16 years. All with specialized project marketing. So, hope to give you my insights.
Okay, so today we are here, right? Because we want to know from you guys, because you guys are the expert, right? Colin is from Pinetree Hill, and then Ivan is from Skye at Holland. But I want to know, you start off, why do you think that UOL is so confident in this area? The Ulu Pandan and Holland area.
Okay. Of course, I think in general public, I think it's an area of very strong value, aspiration, especially for Singaporeans.
So it's like a lifestyle.
To buy certain areas in Singapore. I find that there's an aspiration for Singaporean. Like for example, we talk about East Coast for East Siders. West Siders maybe it's Bukit Timah. Holland definitely is one of them. They have very natural attributes of amenities, lifestyle. And it's always this strong values that attracts people. So bullish in the sense of
like why are they so confident? Like for example, when they're talking about we have Holland, so you could be saying that Holland is like the east side of the west side, correct? So in this case, do you think that this is the main reason that why UOL is so bullish in terms of these two areas?
I believe they probably look at certain factors. It's still an area of growth despite being popular. Probably they have seen that. That's why they came in with a good bid of 1,200-ish. Apart from that, it always have been proven. So I think it's not difficult for them to make this decision if the price is right for the land.
Understand. So to go further into this lifestyle area, right? Do you think that Holland area has actually lost its luster like in the past couple of years? The F&B scene isn't used to be what it is. While we are talking about a nice area of lifestyle with bars, hang out. Do you think that is a factor contributing, or is that something that might yet to be seen?
I believe so. I think many things have changed from the past 15 years, 10 years, 5 years to how Holland Village has transformed. That being changed. There's areas that starts to have its own appeal. Like for example, nearby Dempsey, we have the One North Enclave. We do have the Beauty World. And I think they just happens to reach overload. I think One Holland Village Square came in. It really relived the whole area. Even weekends you go, there's young people hanging around. There's pets lover bringing their pets together along Village Square. There's buskings. It's changed the whole vibes.
Yeah, I think you're right. I haven't been there for a while yet.
Yeah, sure.
Now that you mentioned, I think it sounds very exciting. So what about you, Colin? What do you think that they are so confident that this area would be something that they look into,
I think
money into it?
Maybe to touch on what Ivan has mentioned, of course, all the rejuvenation as well as the new happening things that is coming into Holland. But what I would like to emphasize is basically UOL did bid the land for Pinetree first ahead of Skye, definitely. Right, so it might also be due to the confidence of how the sales take up for Pinetree. Now the fact that it's close to 90% sold has also give the developers a heads up in terms of their confidence to really go for Skye. And I believe also Skye did have like a 5% difference in terms of the land bid that really boosts up that confidence for developers to like say, okay, let's go, let's do it.
So this year, I think, is it safe to say actually Pinetree set the stage for Skye? This is a build up.
Yeah, I think right.
Yes.
And we talk about Pinetree, I would say also why did UOL really just enter into the market might also be due to the pent-up demand. because in that locality itself, in that location, there hasn't been any new government land sales for over 13 years. Yeah, so with that, coming in with Pinetree and with the sales, then they went for Skye.
So it's very interesting, Colin, you mentioned that, right? Because for Skye, they have about 666 units,
Yes.
and more than half are actually 2-bedroom units. So compared to previously when UOL designed Pinetree Hill, right? It's a much smaller units, 520, and less than half is the 1 and 2 bedroom. So when you say investment, does it mean that Skye is actually more targeted towards investors more than Pinetree Hill?
I think it's quite a good mix because 44% are still of the bigger units, which cater for families. But not discounting the fact that a lot of young couples, moving trends, more and more young couples starts to buy, more and more young buyers comes into the market. And probably for, comfortable affordability, two-bedder, they may also look for homestay about for investment. Yeah, staying near the parents, a two-bedder, comfortable for the lifestyle, for the proximity to MRT. I think it's a very good mix. Then, of course, also the fact that, yes, I think for investment, I think it'll be very strong because rental is definitely strong. It's a high aspect concentration pool there. I saw that per square feet rental where I think ranges about $8 per square feet. I think it's quite good returns. I think buy there for investment, definitely if it's for rental, they'll feel very safe. Will that be right?
Okay, how about yourself, Colin? Does Pinetree, I know a lot of them, the 1 or 2 bedrooms are really more or less sold out.
Yes, that's true.
So what's your perception of that?
I would say it's definitely a good mix. Because ultimately Pinetree has been in the market for some time. We do definitely have the relevant statistics in terms of the take-up rate. Right. So if you look in terms of Pinetree sales wise, in fact you'll be surprised. Usually for I wouldn't say all, but majority of the projects usually it's more of the biteable size pricing that will go off first, like 2 bedrooms, 1 bedroom, and so on and so forth. But in fact, Pinetree sees 3 bedroom as fully sold. 4 bedroom, even with private lease, also fully sold. Which means to say there are a lot of people coming in for own stay. That is the reason why they are going for huge floor plate. But nevertheless, 2 bedrooms are also fully sold. So you can see there's actually a very good mix in terms of maybe not say investment per se, but also young couples coming in. Yeah, and if we're talking about Holland itself, in particular to Pinetree, that is Mount Sinai location, the enclave itself, I do see buyers coming in because their parents are staying nearby.
Amen.
So this kind of enclave, I would say, is actually a very good mix where, kids who have grown up will still want to be close by to their parents.
So having said that, if there is only one differentiator, right, between Pinetree and Skye, what would you say would be that one thing that makes a difference? Of course, I understand it may be a little bit different the profile, but let's say if there's one thing for me, we have to be biased a bit. I like Pinetree, the density, because the same plot of land, only 3 blocks, very nice landscaping. So that would be the one. Okay, but you cannot use my answer. So what would that one differentiator?
I think for Skye at Holland, definitely is the MRT. The general public, a lot still do look at MRT factor. I think that's definitely one of them.
Okay. So MRT, you think, is still that main thing where investors or homeowners that will still look at that?
Yes, so far based on track records, big development next to MRT generally performs well. I think even for first day sales, usually it's a strong take-up.
I totally agree with that. So what do you have to say to that?
Okay, maybe to second to what you said, maybe just to emphasize on the numbers, like 88% are landscaping, from the land itself. But of course, if we're talking about attributes for own stay in particular, it will be school emphasis.
Okay.
1 kilometer to Henry Park as well as Payton Primary, which is relatively
4 kilometers, right?
So it's interesting that you mentioned about the landscaping. So to give us perspective, right? So the Skye of Holland, the land size is about half of the Pinetree Hill land size, right? So that then comes back to the question, right? For lifestyle, people who like lifestyle buyers, how do you think UOL will design Skye to continue attracting this kind of buyers into the area?
I think Skye, firstly, of course, 666 units. In fact, facilities, they don't really lack a lot. They still have like 5 function rooms. They still have 3 gyms, 2 swimming pools, playground. But not forgetting, right? They actually have an extension. Extension in the sense that right next to them is 145,000 square feet of beach square, which is amenities. Yeah, MRT. So it's like an extension of the facilities. I think not many projects do have that with MRT at the doorstep as well.
Copy. Wow, so then Pinetree be stressful. See the
150%.
quietness, 心静自然凉。Yeah.
Well, I think it makes sense. I mean, again, like I said, both developments have their pros and cons and really different attributes, which is why that's the whole reason why we are here, right? Instead of talking about it on our own, we really invite people here who are specialists in that project to really share with us exactly very neutral, very partial, impartial views of what each developments hold. So, having said that, like looking while got MRT, got quietness, got landscaping, so all very good. Now, to buyers out there, that what do you think would be the pricing strategy and the kind of value that each of you will bring in terms of pricing? Of course, we are not asking for prices. Some prices are already up, some not yet. But what do you see in terms of that to to certain group of buyers? How will you position these developments against that?
Okay, I think so. Today we do not have a clear indicator. Understand the pricing for Skye and Holland. We understand that yes, their land cost is attractive. Yeah, because thereafter for the land cost, right, we've seen even more bullish land transactions around Singapore, even for the outside core region. Yeah, we have seen land cost of 1,003 plus above. Yeah, even within the same vicinity of Holland, Bukit Timah, we've seen land cost of 1,004 plus. Yeah, UOL bought this land for 1,285 per square feet per plot ratio. Yeah, I think the value may translate to the buyers purchase. Yeah, but we will wait and see. Yeah, I believe it should be attractive.
Okay, before we go to Colin, got one question for you, right? So, based on what you say on the land cost, is it? I mean, of course, I also agent, I know a bit, I know.
So, you know a lot,
Based on the break even, I believe at 1,200 coming back, the break even cost for the developers is about 2,200, 2,300. Correct me if I'm wrong. So, do you think that this, when you say the cost will be translated to the buyers, how much do you think that developers need to make money, correct? So, at which point you think that is too much, right?
Too much. Okay, because for Skye at Holland, they can go up to level 40. I think it's the tallest within the vicinity.
Sounds like.
Yeah, so of course the top floor, the high floor, with a very clear unblocked view, the PSL definitely may translate to higher per square feet. Yeah, but the value is there because beside us we have one Holland Village. I think the higher transacted is already weighing close to about $4,000 per square feet on the higher side of 3. Yeah. So buyers do have certain price support when coming in from just beside. Yeah. And of course, for Skye Holland, it will be harmonized. Yep. Secondly, that means acknowledged space is not included. Yep. That's why the overall floor plan may be efficient. And if it's not including acknowledged, then definitely the quantum wise may be attractive. Yeah. So the rest, of course, whether it's worth it to go in or not, at what price point, then we have to see then, because you have to wait for the indicative price point.
No problem. We'll come to you. If any buyers come to us, we'll come to you. Yeah. Okay, so your turn, Colin. The question was in terms of the price. Of course, we already know some price. So what makes that attractive to buyers if they have to consider between these two developments?
I feel personally it will be the land costing. Yeah, because it's already cast definitely way earlier as compared to Skye. So there's actually advantage in terms of developers costing per se that translates to buyers purchasing in terms of price. But nevertheless, if again bringing back to supporting transactions, right? As you can see, pricings are definitely very reasonable. That is the reason why we have such a strong take-up rate for Pinetree, that there's only slightly more than 10% left in terms of the unit.
So what unit sizes are still available?
Currently, we are still left with 2 premium, 2 plus study, 3 premium, and 5 bedroom, last 8 units.
Actually, quite a good spread of the units that's available.
Yes.
Like I would expect, like maybe only the bigger units, right? But it's actually a spread across so
Correct.
actually quite can can.
So it's interesting because myself, I'm a family person with young children, right? Then I guess a lot of the families, like you said, when you go into Pinetree Hill, you go for the big 4-bedroom units. So I do understand that a lot of them maybe because of 1 kilometer to Henry Park, right? And so coming back to this, right, for Skye, because I understand it's not 1 km to school. So do you think that would be something that families will feel that maybe it's not that ideal to move into this area? Or are there like other school options, or what kind of families you think will want to stay in this development?
Okay, of course, school factors wise, depending on how young is the kid, is it buying for school registration, or the kid already enroll in a certain primary school, just want to be within the vicinity? So that would be the first question. Yeah, and of course, for families wise, every product I believe have their own attributes. Yeah, for example, Pinetree Hill, definitely school factor is one. Yeah, environment is one. Yeah, for Skye, definitely MRT factor is one. Amenity is one.
Lifestyle.
Yeah, lifestyle. I mean, for family that wants, for example, their kids to be in a very maybe vibrant environment. Yeah, to be maybe in an environment that convenience is there. Safety, because MRT is within walking distance. Yeah, buy food, all this, meeting friends are all within the same vicinities. I mean, this will cater to them. Yeah, so of course, for school-wise, a lot of Singaporean, of course, when they buy into property, they look at certain things also. School is one, proximity to parents is one. Yeah, so for Skye, I think what they can bring unique attribute is the proximity, of course, MRT amenities. So I think this is the strong value. Yeah. So it may outweigh school in a certain factors if they need.
Okay.
Maybe coming to your point in terms of family, family, nevertheless, if you are looking at upgrading, for example, so you probably need to sell your home first before you commit into a next project. I would say one key differences would also be the TOP dates. Right, for Skye, you probably need to wait a little longer, but that is also an advantage if you do have a spare place or family that you can bunk in with. But other than that, maybe one of the stronger reasons why people go for Pinetree is because the developer is aiming to TOP end of next year. Right, so the wait will not be that long.
No.
Yeah, go for registration. Very soon. Yeah.
Moving in, go for saving on rental. I think that's
Okay.
Yeah. So for the bonus question, one thing about a project that you hate most.
Yeah, I mean, if really want to nitpick at something, yes, school factor, because they really don't have prominent school within one kilometer. Yeah, but as mentioned, I believe there's many attributes that may outweigh that one things. It may cater for those buyers that probably prefer not to have too many children's activities within the development. They will consider this for that.
That's true. Yeah. Is that a school dormitory?
Yeah, that's why it's good. I think Pinetree and of course Skye Island offer complementary products. Both are very opposite in its one way.
quite
Kidding. What about you?
no food. Yeah, so as compared to Skye, I mean, definitely maybe within the next 3 minutes or even 5 minutes, there's like abundance, plenty
Yeah, you
of
can't
option.
because that is really integrated to the extent whereby you have your older part of Holland be, the street sides, and then you also have the new rejuvenation part.
Right. So Pinetree have to be
Got
Grab friendly.
this Pinetree got shuttle bus.
Yes, direct shuttle bus. Correct. That's right. That's right. But I mean, of course, if we are looking at something immediate, like something we can really walk immediately, then
Don't have, right? But got a lot of greenery lah.
yes,
Okay. Thank you so much. Anything to add on before we go, guys, so that we can wrap this up with some advertisement, if you want to call that.
Yeah.
One last pitch before we close.
Yeah, I think Skye Holland will preview starting from 27 September. Yeah, so of course make appointments with your agent to visit the pretty showroom.
I think mainly for Pinetree, limited choice units left. Yeah, so if you are the type who are looking for something, ready for move in soon, the luxury in terms of really tranquil environment, schools within 1 kilometer, I think Pinetree would be something to look at.
So if you are looking at 5 bedroom only, right?
Yeah.
So that's the only one. Yeah. Correct.
Okay, great. So thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Rush down and then prepare. Just now behind the scenes. Oh, they really,
Yeah.
And I really appreciate that because they are very busy project specialists and they made time for this. So thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I will see you for the next episode of Real Talk.
Okay, bye.
Bye.